find it, man. Okay, good evening. Welcome to my own show now, not someone else's. As you might have seen or might not have seen, I've just been on the pledge on Sky News. I'm going to have a quick rundown and a chat about how that went today. And we'll have a look at the topics we talked about as well, because it was quite an interesting show. For a number of reasons. Right, I'm just going to like and share.
Just going to move the camera.
And we'll get this show on the road. I'll tell you what, it's a lot easier in here when I ain't got two women trying to shout me down every 2 seconds. That's for
Me in
sure.
a minute.
Well, I've got one woman who shouts me down, and that's Wendy. Some things will never change. Let's just get this shared out to one more place. Tap to change. In fact, I'm going to share on Twitter tonight, and the reason I'm going to do that is because my Twitter account's on fire at the moment with people from the pledge. So if I can direct them onto here, we've done a good job, haven't we? We'll try. Let's see where we go. Okay.
I can't find it on mine. I can't find it.
2 seconds, folks, and I'll be... Okay, so... let's crack straight on. Don't think I've got any housekeeping tonight. No birthdays up or nothing like that, Wendy, no?
Not that I've seen.
Okay, let's crack straight on this tonight then. So obviously, I've been on the pledge today. It's just aired. I think it was a fairly successful show. I'm going to say it's the first time I've been on a debating type show, and I find it quite... people just talk and talk and talk, and you can't get a word in edgeways. And there was 2 women on there. Jesus, talk a glass eye to sleep. They make you not want to say nothing, but to listen to them. So, I'll go through the subjects that we talked about very quickly, if I've got the right piece of paper here, which I don't think that we have. Which, no, I haven't got.
People are saying that you got your points across very well.
I did enjoy it. It was good fun. I haven't got the stuff I wanted to talk about here. But basically, there was a chat about equality in female sports. There was a chat about these grid girls and all that sort of stuff, which has stemmed from the dinner event in the Grosvenor. Was it the Grosvenor? I don't know. One of the big hotels, the gentleman's evening type thing. And some journo, some left-wing lunatics trying to make a name for herself by saying how shite it was. And all she's effectively done is murdered a few careers, really, to be honest, because, you know, these grid girls and that earn good money, and rightly so. If you can, I'd be a Chippendale if I could. You know what I mean? So I don't see nothing wrong in making a living for how you look, because people make a living for how they think. Do you know what I mean? So I wasn't blessed with either, unfortunately, but I'm still in front of you, so I'll do the best I can. And I think if somebody wants to be in it, I don't condone for 1 second, 1 millisecond, any that it's groping or any of that sort of stuff, and where it's identified, that person should be brought to book and thrown out of whatever establishment he is, and if the police need calling, well, fair play, let's get the pervert dealt with. But on the same score of things, I use ring girls. We've had ring girls, at all my boxing events that I've done. You see the grid girls. I'm sure Jim Walker, they use grid girls. Why should these girls be forced out of a way to make a living when, they've done nothing wrong? They've done absolutely nothing wrong. So that was one of the chats. There was a chat about this Winston Churchill cafe, and to be fair, right, yes, those left-wing lunatic idiots that went in there were just complete fools, and I didn't really get to say as much as I could have done on this, because it's a difficult one. It's my first time on there. I wanted to say exactly what I said, and I said what I wanted to say, so I got my point across. But you feel like you can't dip in it now, you know what I mean? I'm the new guy. They're going to learn all about me, I'm telling you, because some of the stuff I've watched and learned a lot tonight, and I think, I took a grey man approach tonight with a lot of what was going on. But the Churchill thing is absolutely disgusting. And they tried to turn the conversation around to history and all that stuff. I'm not interested in history. There was history in this country, okay? There's been lots of history. We did a take earlier where I actually referred to Nelson Mandela. And I said, he has got a criminal track record and has been convicted and locked up for being terrorist. Yet you still put his statue in Parliament Square, okay? Yet you're moaning that Winston Churchill was a racist. I mean, come on, what's the matter with you, you know? It's ridiculous. So that argument in particular, you know, to direct any anger or vent anything against these cafe owners, at the end of the day, you know, it's a British cafe representing something that's British, and all you really want is a cup of tea and a bacon sandwich. And that's it, bust, you know what I mean? So that conversation went fairly okay, I thought. Like I say, when they started going, you know, I said to them right at the very end, you know, leave history for college and eat your dinner in the cafe. Do you know what I mean? Because what's all this about? Do you know what I mean? And these lunatics, as that geezer next to me pointed out, you know, not one of them came from one of the countries that was affected. How are you offended? Are you offended on someone else's behalf? Absolutely shockingly ridiculous. So, I think it's one of those. Nobody that took part in that protest had an idea or a clue of what was going on around them, and just probably went in for the look at us, we're the Collins dudes, yeah, radical man, yeah, check us out, ain't we good? You wankers. And I wouldn't have given them the time of air, to be honest, or nothing. What else did we have? We had, we've done the sport, we've done the Churchill stuff. What else did they have? Oh, the political. They went on about is May strong enough for the position. Well, I naturally took the stance that, you know, she's probably the best out of a bad bunch that we've got at the moment, and her party don't help her by airing her laundry in public and basically not supporting her. Because if you're going to vote for something that can't hold itself together and bickers and pulls itself apart, you're throwing yourself away to the enemy, aren't you? There's certain stuff they should be doing that stays behind closed doors, and then they should pick their policy carefully and make sure they can deliver, which is something none of these people do. None of them can deliver the policies they come up with. I mean, Corbyn going, I'm going to build 8,000 houses. Are you really going to find 8,000 houses straight away and give them to the homeless? Come on, that's a load of bullshit, isn't it? What, so you're going to walk straight into office and go, right, 8,000 houses, there they are, there's 100 over there, and give them straight away to the homeless? Oh, you fuck Corbyn. And I'll tell you another thing. You won't be giving them to the ex-services either, because you're a twat. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. You've got to pick your policies, you've got to deliver. The priorities in policy at the moment are Brexit, because that's what the people want to happen, and our borders and this terrorism problem. That's the priorities at the moment, and anything else pales into insignificance. So the fact that, you know, they're going left, right, and they're picking on May, and they're saying, well, you know, blah, blah, blah about May. But, you know, May is only the figurehead. The CEO of any regiment is only the figurehead. He's got his RSM underneath him. He's got his adjutant. He's got all these people to support him. If they all fall apart, the whole system crumbles. But they don't air their washing in public, do they? It's not right, okay? So that's where I went with that. And what else did we have? That was about it, wasn't it? I don't know. Anyway, it was all that was worth mentioning anyway, to be honest.
Barry said
I enjoyed it. It was a great experience.
Barry said he liked your reference comparing Winston Churchill compared to Nelson Mandela. Great quote, Phil.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what these people are trying to come up with. So we're getting a lot of stuff still on Twitter at the moment coming through, which I expected. Right.
Lee Beaumont said, I was asked today who I'd hate to be deserted on a desert island, and I couldn't answer. After the pledge, I now know it's them two ladies.
Mate, you could not get a word in edgeways, could you? They really do, don't they? They chat down. I think in time, when I get used to it, because we were categorically told in the rehearsal and the dressing room beforehand, don't talk people down. Nobody can. And those women just fucking belt-fed bullshit coming out for most of the time. I mean, they don't give anyone else another chance. I know everybody around the table should have their say, but I felt like sometimes you didn't get your chance to say what you wanted to say. Do you know what I mean? It really was, and that will all change with time, because once Phil gets his feet under the table, believe me, I should be having my say, and you'll know how to interject with them. And it's a difficult balance to strike with these people, as I'm finding out of Wendy at the moment.
I can't get a word in right. Steve said, respect. Great show. Kept your cool. Very professional.
I think there's no point whatsoever going on a show like that and losing your rag. Absolutely none whatsoever. You go on there, you know, you lose your rag, you look like an absolute complete screaming fucktard straight away. There's no point to that whatsoever. You've got to listen to these people. They're in there. My points I wanted to get across with the veteran thing, I think I got across, which was the important thing to me. The other stuff really, in terms of how interested I am in it, pales into insignificance. You know, I'm not really bothered if, you know, I've got my opinion on the other stuff, but the points that I wanted to make, I got across and I didn't deviate from. So my main concern, my main priority with just about everything I do outside of my own work, okay, is to do with veterans. and it's veterans where I'm interested, and it's veterans I want to help that are suffering. And like I pointed out on there is 2.5 million veterans in this country, okay? And it's not even nowhere near the tip of the iceberg that are suffering. I don't know what the figures are, but it's not 2.5 million that are suffering, okay? So there are some very successful veterans. You know, I know quite a few myself. You know, people, CEOs of companies. I had a guy phone me up today, a very successful businessman, him and his wife, okay? And so there are a lot of veterans out there who have made good of themselves and have done particularly well in whatever area they've chosen. My point being, if there's one veteran struggling, we need to know about it so we can help him. You would not leave him behind on the battlefield. You do not leave him behind in Civvy Street. He should be brought forward and he should be sorted out, okay? And that's the way it is, as far as I'm concerned. Will you be presenting the pledge on a weekly basis now, Phil, says Alex Gage. I've got another one in 2 weeks' time, and then I don't know what. I might get penciled in from some more, I might not. It all depends. But certainly I'll get to a certain extent, pick my topic, and my topics will invariably be veteran related. And if there's something going on, or there's something I can bring to the forefront, I will bring it up on that programme, and I swear I'll do that. I will not, unless they absolutely dictate to me I've got to talk about something else. I will be bringing up the plight of veterans on that programme every time I go on there if I can. Now, it might be...
Sean Conley said, I will certainly watch it again. I don't normally give this type of debate the time of day.
It's difficult, and I think there were 2 female characters on there who had a lot to say. And that's as far as I'm going to go with them 2. They were both thoroughly nice people to talk to outside of what was said on there, to be fair. You know, they presented themselves as completely different people as they present themselves in the room when they came up and spoke to you backstage. You know, at the end of the day, I'm not there to make friends. I'm there to get my point across, really, to be honest. But like I say, you keep a civil tongue and you keep your head under control and you keep yourself in check. Because if you don't, you know, you're not going to get asked back. And I think this in particular presents me with a great platform, an absolutely superb platform
get on Twitter
to push things forward. You know what I mean? So yeah, email, get hold of the pledge. You know, retweet me stuff if you like what I'm doing, and tell them you like what I'm doing. You know, we'll get some more slots and we'll push our own issues to the forefront on there, because that's all they're doing. You know, Afua made her name on there, as far as I can see, when she said that Nelson Column should be pulled down. And then since then, they haven't been able to get her off there. She said something that was controversial, and that's what they wanted on that show. Well, I'll start saying stuff that's controversial, and I'll certainly start standing up for what I believe in and for what I think. I want to speak for what the people want. You know, what the veterans community wants. I want to see that aired. I don't want to hear these boffins talking about, you know, poking their heads out of the Guardian and going, blah, 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 you know, you scumbag. I don't want to hear that. You know what I mean? They almost talk down to everybody. And I think... Although they were very civil on there, you know what I mean, I think I can make some good points. And I think tonight I dipped my toe in the water to find out what was going on. And I enjoyed it. And it was all right. And I think I've managed to make a good point tonight. So, there we go.
Alex said it'd be a good balance if you're on every week.
A few folk on Twitter pick up on you looking at your phone and rubbing your face, laugh at it. Yeah, I mean, there was times at a show when I was sat there, absolutely, and I'm going to Photoshop a couple of, or screenshot a couple of the television, and if you can do it, you screenshot a couple and send them to me, and we'll have the best face pick, okay? All right, so we'll have the best Phil on the telly face pick sent in or something like that, okay? Because there were times on there when I was absolutely, Wendy would take, because Wendy was up in the crowd, I was just frustrated with what was being said, and I'm afraid as much as people would want me to act, I can't not act that. I can keep my mouth shut. All right, but I can't actually sort of like, I'm like, oh my God, what are you saying? Do you know what I mean? So, yeah.
Was the darts a set-up, said Alan?
No, she genuinely beat me. I got on there. I was like, no warm-up whatsoever. That was the first. To be fair, Afro had a warm-up, all right? But no, it was 3 darts, wasn't it? Do you know what I mean? And literally, good grouping. You couldn't fault me for me grouping, and 18 and 2 and 2 ones, like, do you know what I mean? I was in the ballpark. But no, she just slung 2 at the darts board. I just went I was gobsmacked.
James
It's unbelievable.
He said, good to have a man of the people on this kind of show.
That's what I want to be. And I think, you know, having spoken to the people that are on, that produced the show, I think that's why they brought me on. I think I'll give a different angle to the show. You know, most of them there, in fact all of them there, I would say, are educated, have got different backgrounds to myself, and it's, you know, I struck a balance there tonight, I thought. Anyway, I enjoyed it, so there you go. Darren Fuller's watching, good evening Darren. Martin John Canary's watching. Mike Mackey, I've made a fantastic programme. The Veterans Drop-In Cafe designed to help into Civvy Street. Helping with paperwork, etc., giving them... Mike, that's a superb thing. And I think, you know, it's the rehabilitation of soldiers. Not everybody, because some people fit out straight away and fair play to them, but some soldiers, they struggle with the... You don't get taught a lot of that stuff in the army. You don't get taught, you know, where you're supposed to, how you're supposed to fill your forms in it. And let's face it, you don't get out a millionaire when you leave the army, do you? Do you know what I mean? If you're lucky, you do your full time and you get a half decent pension and a bit of a payout. But you're not getting out to a king's ransom, and you're certainly not getting out with anywhere near what it costs to set yourself up completely for life in Civvy Street, are you? So there's going to be... What are you laughing at, Wendy? There's going to be forms you filling out. There's going to be stuff that you need to take help on, and there's going to be places you're going to have to go to try and generate revenue and work and all that sort of stuff. Who won the speedboat, says Amanda Howe. Well, it wasn't me, was it? Although I do have to point out that between us, we did have a combined score of well over 101, so we would have won Bully's Star Prize. Legion, we do not forget. We do not forget.
Speedboat, that's funny.
Philip must be thinking it the same as me. Says Wendy.
No, yeah, because I said who thinks he looked like Bully in his shirt.
Come and look at what you would have won. I used to like the bit when he done the Bully's Pride board. He used to go, in one. Used to get her out in the kitchen. It's a cooking machine, wasn't it? And he used to go through the and he'd go, and Bully's Star Prize. And there'd be something really chat.
And when you look back at that programme,
selection.
The things he said, he just wouldn't be allowed
to
say nowadays.
It was genius. Jim Bowen was a genius. The other geezer that used to always count the stuff, do you know what I mean? Remember the one that used to, he was like, all right, just stand there. He used to stand there and he's like, that's a one, well done, that's a one.
You did really well, Phil.
That's a one, well done.
Phil, you should
and he always used to, come and have a look at what you could have won. Come and have a look at what you could have won. What I could have won? And this always used to make me laugh. It'd be like something like it'd be two blokes out the pub, wouldn't it? It'd be Dave and his mate, and Dave and his mate would win a cat. How the fuck they going to share that? What do you do with that? What? I'll have it one weekend, you'll have it the next.
Most of them. And when they went
like a man, I bet his missus is good. Well, they give him a 3-piece fucking sofa. Well, I have the chairs and you have the sofa. The fuck you say that?
When they, it's like when they get the speedboat. Where are most of them going to park?
Yeah. There's speedboats that were won on bullseye on every housing estate in this country, isn't there? You know what I mean? Whenever you see a derelict speedboat on housing... Yeah, Tony, that's the one. Whenever you see a speedboat abandoned on a housing estate, it's because they won it on fucking bullseye. It's not because they couldn't afford it or nothing. It's just they won it on bullseye and they like couldn't decide who was going to use it. Unbelievable, isn't it? Yeah, what a cracking programme though. I'll still watch a bit of Bully now. You can watch it on Gold, can't you? Get it on Gold. Get it on Gold. Get a Bully. Love a bit of Bully. And I used to like the bit where Bully walks across the thing and he spells the thing and he goes, let's think of a word that I can actually spell. Let's go for the. T-H-E. He used to Bully used to walk across the thing.
Stay out the black and in the red.
Stay out the black and in the red. There's nothing in this game but two in the bed. That's the one. Americans must be thinking, what the fuck? Right, if you're in America, I'm terribly sorry, we've gone a bit Brit on you tonight, okay? Tune into Sky Gold, okay, if you can. Watch a programme called Bullseye. You can get it online, you can get it on YouTube, Bullseye. It's about a darts, all right? And it's genius. If you understand anything about English culture, it's a genius show. Jim Bowen, genius. Absolute genius. Or a caravan, that's right, Colin. They should win a caravan. Dave and John in the pub have won a caravan. And it's been parked out the pub ever since, because they just can't decide who's going to use it, can they? What a thing to have. And you could gamble your money, couldn't you? And the crowd are going, gamble, gamble. Don't they? The board, you get the time for the board to turn around to decide if you're going to gamble or not. Yeah. Well done on Skyfield, thank you. Really bad hair and shell suits, says Jason Field.
Oh, didn't they just?
Bring it back, Phil, and you host it, says Kath Green. Wouldn't that be fun? Big Phil hosting Bullseye. And I could have my producer from Sky, Toby. He is the modern... He'd be the other geezer. He'd love it. Here we go. Alex Garrity. Peter Kay does a great sketch on Bullseye. I'm sure he does. Peter Kay just brings it to life, doesn't he? Do you know what I mean? It would be funny to watch Peter Kay do a Bullseye sketch. It really would. Thomas Wilson, good day, sir. Good day to you.
Everyone's quoting things from Bull. We've had a great night, but we think
mad
we'll
for a
keep
bit of
sticking
bully.
with what we got.
Man, yeah. Yeah, we've had a great night. Don't want to get greedy. What it means
Jim
is
Bowen
you can't.
used to shove them off.
What it
as
means
well,
is
didn't he?
we've had a great night. What this means is you cannot throw 100 on the wall with 6 darts with your mate. You've practiced it and you've decided it's not for you, haven't you? Do you know what I mean? And you've done all right on the prize pool. Because it's just the cash. Mind you, in them days, remember he used to count the money out there and then. And I used to be amazed. How's he got that much money in his pocket? What? Because I was only young when we never had that money in my family when I was little. And he used to watch that and he'd go, look how much money he's got, Mum. Look how much money. Jim Bowen would be like that, flicking it out. There you go. Have some of that. Be like, fucking hell, he's got 100 quid.
And you still see the old £5.
Yeah, I thought Jim Bowen was richer than the Queen. I really did. I thought he was the richest man in the world. Unbelievable. Jim Bowen.
What?
All right, Gracie.
Was there something? No. Oh, okay.
You should do a mock balls night. We might do a bullseye one night, yeah. If I can find myself a decent Tony Green, if Toby will come and do it, we'll have a bullseye night. And maybe Grace can play her mum or something.
Oh shit, it does.
It doesn't matter. You didn't have to be good to be on bullseye. Bullseye was bullseye. See?
I remember bullseye.
We'll just see if you can get 101 or more.
I like
with 6
bullseye.
darts. I love bullseye. Don't like it with the other geezer. Who was the other geezer that took over from Jim Bowen?
I like
Jim Bowen all the way from there.
Oh, I can't remember his
I like
name. He was an
PK.
Irish guy, wasn't he? Was he Irish?
Good day, sir, says Thomas Wilson. The North Koreans have their own version of bullseye. It's called Jap's Eye. I'll do the jokes, all right? I will do the jokes, okay? But that is quite funny. I like that. 3-2-1, that wasn't bad. Dusty Bin, I remember 3-2-1, 3-2-1. They used to do that with your hands. I was amazed. And then all he's doing is that really, isn't it? And ended up with one finger. 3-2-1.
I'm just going to go
Every time.
a little bit
I
off.
thought it was amazing. And I used to practice with slow motion. 3, 2, 1. And you go, there you go, I've got it. Yeah, unbelievable. So you can practice that for hours. Just do it in front of you. See how good it is. Count all the way down from 10. Ooh, that one, check me out. All the way to... Didn't get that, did you? Pretty bad. Unbelievable. Shocking stuff. Jim Bowen got the job because he was hopeless. The producer said that the worst presenter he'd ever says he did it because he did become a legend because he just used to cut about in those like
He just done his own
crippling
things,
slacks,
didn't
didn't he? Do you know what I mean? Just abusing everybody in the crowd. They used to have the professional darts player coming as well, didn't they? And he would chuck. Remember the professional darts player? He played for the Bronze Bully. The Bronze Bully. I wonder if anyone's actually got the Bronze Bully. That'd be worth a fortune, wouldn't it? That goes down in folklore. The Bronze Bully.
Yeah.
Jeez, it must be worth a fortune. I reckon a bendy bully.
tankard.
You used to win a bendy bully, didn't you? A bendy bully with your tankard and darts. Imagine having a bendy bully. I've never even fucking seen one. They are the holy grail of television, a bendy bully. I would love a bendy
But the
bully.
Americans think we're insane, so they're around.
Let's see if somebody can find a bendy bully. I'm going to eBay it. I'm going to see if I can find one on eBay. I want a bendy bully. I want my own bendy bully. I can't win one anymore, but I want a bendy bully. Because it was just legend. I had a bendy toy.
Right,
Did you have any bendy toys, did you? Remember bendy toys?
Yeah.
I had a Pinky
Right.
and Perky. Bendy toys.
Debbie Graham. Probably the first time most of us have watched The Pledge. Viewing figures should have increased. Sir, you're a natural.
I hope so. I hope they increased.
That's nice of you.
And I'm glad you watched and I'm glad you enjoyed it. And those are very kind words. Thank you very much. That'll be brilliant. Big Phil's bullseye. He used to fly around the bus on that dart, didn't he? I got down to tea. It's like I've watched it every weekend. I've never forgotten. I haven't seen it for years. You know, I can just about repeat every episode I ever saw. I was engrossed in it. Just made his money like that. Look at that. He's got, pulls out his pocket. He's got money in his pocket. Hasn't even in the bank. Unbelievable. Didn't that fella on 3-1 end up homeless? He did, didn't he? He lost all his dough, didn't he? What was his name? The fella on 3-2-1. He ended up homeless, didn't he?
I don't know.
Yeah, he did.
Is it?
He did. He was living in some beach hut down in Bournemouth or something like that, or Boscombe
Leslie
or
or
something.
something,
That's something, wasn't it? And he ended up.
Leslie,
Yeah, I remember seeing an interview with him. I don't even. I'm not even sure he got it all back. When he completely hit the bottle, got right on the lash. I think he got it back, didn't he? But he was homeless for a stage. He was definitely homeless for a stage. He turned it round again. I'm sure he did. Yeah, unbelievable. And that's my point with this veteran thing as well. All veterans.
Ted Rogers.
Ted Rogers, that's the one, yeah. First time I've watched. Actually, it's the first time I've watched. They asked me to do some research and I chinned it off a little bit, to be honest, didn't we? We didn't watch it at all, did we? I watched about 10 minutes of one show and I was like, yeah, all right. And then we got down there today. And I always thought it was live, but obviously it wasn't live. We did that this morning, so...
When you have something on one of those programmes...
Plug the show on Twitter for you. Thanks, Amanda. Bendy Bullies on eBay for 30 quid. I've got to get my hands on a Bendy Bully. Wendy, I need a Bendy Bully. More than anything in the whole... You know, when you're a kid and you want something and you want it more than anything in the whole wide world. That's Bendy Bully and Big Phil. I need a Bendy Bully. I need a Bendy Bully. Not want. I need a Bendy Bully. That's what I should be telling. That's what I should be telling me, Mum.
Oh, can we stop on about Bendy Bullies?
No, I love Bendy Bullies. Ted Rogers did 321. Ted something. Ted Rogers. Adam. Everyone's got Ted. Cy Richards is watching. Julie Gillespie is watching with a link to something. I don't know what that was. eBay. It's a Bendy Bully. Grip Wendy. Christmas. Do you know what I mean? I know it's a way off yet. Bendy Bully for Christmas. Birthday's in March. 20th of March. Bendy Bully. Right, okay. I think we're just about coming to the end of this today. Thanks for watching me on this. I haven't had a lot of time to prepare this today, but I did want to talk about the pledge because I think it was quite good fun. I will be back on the pledge on the... Is it the 21st or the 22nd? I am on there again this month, and then I'm not booked in again, so we'll see if they give me any more. But it was fun. It's given me a platform again to raise issues with veterans and the rest of the stuff. Yeah. Tomorrow is pre-drinking. I may be down the Union Jack Club tomorrow, speaking to a few people reference a veterans party that's forming. So yeah, could do some filming down there tomorrow, I would have thought. And that's pre-drinks taken care of with Big Phil tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching the pledge. Those of you that did, those of you that didn't, have a look at the pledge. I didn't get many words in, but what I did say I meant, okay? And until tomorrow, who dares wins? I'll see you all later on.